had these pineapples in pots for almost a year now, waiting for their forever home, so it's time to get them in the ground. If you're new here, I'm Nikki, and I'm on a mission to grow as much food as I possibly can on our regular suburban block here in the subtropics in Australia. We've been rejigging our garden a bit, and we've pulled down most of our untreated hardwood timber garden beds to make way for our aquaponics. This area has been really difficult to grow in the ground as we've constantly been competing with roots coming in from some neighbouring trees. I had a garden in between these raised beds that was my beneficial garden. It was dedicated bed for all beneficial plants, flowers, and a bird bath. To make room for the aquaponics, we did have to pull it out, and surprisingly, unlike some of the other beds, it wasn't damaged by white ants, so we've decided to repurpose it for a pineapple bed as a divider for a future path and lawn in our front yard. Pineapples will certainly teach you a bit of patience as they do take a long time to fruit. We started with initially around about 3 plants. One I had acquired just from a supermarket pineapple, and I've just propagated the top. And the other 2 were given to me from someone who had some excess plants. I'm really not sure what variety they are. Some have spines, some don't. Some produce massive fruit, some produce really tiny fruit. We're now close to around 50 plants, and because they take forever, we may only see around 4 fruit over the year. That's if the rats don't get to them first. Having said that, I have never really given them a lot of love. I just usually tuck them around the garden, and if they grow, they grow. To propagate the plants, it's just a matter of twisting off the top of the fruit, sitting in some water and waiting for some roots to form. But now it is pretty rare to see a full pineapple in the shops. You might get lucky at an independent fruit shop. But I have seen plants in Bunnings once before if you're on the hunt for pineapple plants. They'll take a little while to form roots, but once they have, you can plant them straight in the garden. Sometimes I leave them for many months before I even do this. Once the plant fruits, the mother plant will die, but don't pull it out as it will produce little pups, and you'll get around 2 to 3 extra plants just from that one plant. As for growing pineapples, my advice is probably going to be a bit biased as we live in a pineapple growing region. I wouldn't be surprised if the land that we're on was once a pineapple farm, and our climate is really ideal for growing them. The only thing I really do is choose the full sun position. We've had lots of success growing them in pots as well as vertical gardens. I wanted to give the old bed a freshen up, so I've just used some timber stain on this. It's probably something that I should have done well before now, but I'm pretty happy with how it came up. In terms of prepping the soil, I did it as I normally would do any veggie garden with a load of compost. I've also added in some slow release fertilizer. The soil that we've popped in here was actually from the bottom of the old chicken coop, so it will be pretty supercharged already. I mulched with a wood chip before planting out, mainly because I didn't want to stab myself in the eye while trying to get the mulch in after I've planted the pineapples. I've got around 20 plants here in pots, as well as a couple of the tops that I was growing in my kitchen. I'm going to plant them quite densely, 2 rows around 30 centimeters apart in a zigzag pattern. When you drive past some of the farms, they look so packed in, so I'm going with this strategy. I only managed to get in 18 plants, so I will have to find homes for the remaining few somewhere else. I'm going to companion plant with some low growing ground covers of herbs to act more as a living mulch just to stop any weeds, and a few flowers. In the past, I've grown alongside my pineapples some garlic chives, nasturtiums, calendula. Because I'm planting so densely, it is likely that my pineapples are going to crowd out whatever I plant eventually. But for now, I'm going to go in with some sweet Alice, some cornflowers, and some violas. I'm also going to pop in some oregano and some lemon balm. This bed will get a lot of sun, so I think eventually I will put some more Mediterranean low-growing herbs, perhaps some creeping thyme. I was actually told once the key to getting the pineapples to fruit is to stress them out a bit, so it'll be interesting to see if transplanting these will shock a lot of them into fruiting for me. Knowing when to harvest them is tricky, as it's said that they don't get any sweeter once they've been picked, so usually I just wait until I can smell them. The only problem that we've really had with growing pineapples is when a critter, likely rats, I think, could be possums, when they come and take a bite out of the pineapple, especially after we say, I will leave that for one more day and pick it tomorrow. Unfortunately, I haven't found a solution to that particular problem. Anyway, that's our pineapple bed all up and running again. Next week, I will be fixing up one of our wicking beds and planting out my bed for June. If you do want to follow along with my planting, I have created a seed bundle that includes everything that I will be planting out in my monthly beds for the next 3 months, and you can grab that from my website. There's a link in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.